You're just going to want to focus on fast is fast. All right, now we have some questions coming through. We have Facebook question who says, how does the writer decide which chords to use for a song? Well, there's a couple of tools that you can use. The first is inspiration and following your ear. So whatever chord you feel like putting behind a melody, you can just put it there. Now, that's good some of the time, but can also lead to limitations. It doesn't always, but it can. And so the other tool you can use is something called music theory. Music theory is something that I love so dearly because it's the how and the why behind all music that you hear. It's like if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, where Neo, who's the hero, can suddenly see the way the whole world works. This is what music theory is to music. You're going to see music and instantly understand how everything works. And so you can actually make very cool, informed decisions combining both inspiration and music theory in a two-step process that eventually molds together and becomes a single-step process to add chords to songs. So in terms of tactical, how to go about doing this, number one, you need to understand scales. Number two, you need to understand how to harmonize those scales. Number three, you need to understand how to take those harmonized scales, which is going to create chords, and then put those chords into chord progressions underneath the scale that you used to create those chords, and then the scale and the chords, or the melody that you create from the scale and the chords, will both line up and agree together. Now, I don't have time to unpack all the music theory there, but you can find that in the Best Music Theory book for Beginners 1, and you can grab a free copy of that in the video description if you are on YouTube, and the video description should also be available to you on Facebook. You can grab a free copy of that. You just cover the shipping cost on it, and I'll send you my first music theory book. Yeah, so I always say to everyone who I teach anything about creating music is let inspiration happen first. And when you are done with inspiration, or inspiration is done with you, then you bring the music theory in. And what happens is, as you learn more music theory and it becomes integrated into your understanding, it will naturally show up in your inspiration, offering and providing you even more tools to use to create more things. So always inspiration first. Don't think about the rules when you're inspired. Just create. Just get it out. Then, as a secondary process, because writing is always going to be an iterative process. Iterative process means you're not just going to try once to write a song. You're going to try once, and then you're going to go back and you're going to evaluate it. And then you're going to try it again. And then you're going to try it again. And then you're going to try it again. And you're going to mold and shape and craft the song. So the first inspiration, that you don't think about the rules. But after that, you can look at the rules, decide what rules to keep, decide what rules to break. And that is what I would recommend doing. Okay, next question we have is from YouTube. Incompetent Hero says, how important is ironing out bad habits? More importantly, when to do it? Well, what's really interesting about bad habits is that you can, C-A-N can, reach many of your goals and dreams with bad habits. People could even compliment your musicianship and your playing while you do it with bad habits. And indeed, you could even attain many professional goals with bad habits. Ooh, interesting. Now, also, what is true about bad habits is bad habits can stop you from exceeding a certain speed threshold because you're literally not using your body or instrument in the way that is optimal. Bad habits can result in inaccurate musical performance. Bad habits can result in injury, needing surgery, discomfort, pain, frustration, and also slowing down your learning curve on your instrument. So, while it is true that you can get many things done with bad habits, there's also a huge potential downside for you by moving forward with bad habits. So ironing out bad habits is actually the most important thing to do in music. It's the number one greatest challenge everyone learning to music faces. Learning to do music faces. Are you learning to music? I like to music. We shall music together. The greatest thing you can do for yourself is to fix bad habits. Now, what's interesting about bad habits is bad habits are a result of something called a blind spot. And a blind spot means you don't know what you don't know, which then results in the bad habit. And the only way to address a blind spot is to get training. So you're not good at music, you're not bad at music, you're either trained or you're untrained. These are the only two options. So when it comes to ironing out a bad habit, you need to get some training. So you need to sit down with a teacher. And the reason why you need to sit down with a teacher, either online over a webcam or in person is because a YouTube video, a book, a course, and a software application all will not be able to assess and correct your incorrect technique. So because you cannot get feedback from books, YouTube videos, courses, Reddit threads, blogs, Facebook groups, you must sit down with a teacher. You must sit down with a teacher in order to address bad habits. It is literally the only way to do it. Now, there are options where you can use asynchronous learning, which is where you take a video of yourself, then you send that video to a teacher, then the teacher analyzes and assesses the video, and then gives you feedback. Now, this is not ideal for a number of reasons. One, the duration of time for that whole system to take place, for you to take the video, for the teacher to get it, for the teacher to assess, for the teacher to write the assessment, for the teacher to send it back to you. And also because the teacher is not going to be able to, in real time, troubleshoot the issues that you are having. And myself, I've taught for many, many years, and I'll tell you the most effective I can be when someone's having a bad habit is like, try this, no, try this, try this, try this, try this. And I have a list of between 3 and 20 things for every possible bad habit you can imagine. For me, it's going to be for singing and guitar, because those are the things that I specialize in terms of instruments, not drums. So sorry, I can't help you with specifics there. But the point is that a teacher's going to have a number of troubleshooting things that they're going to be able to run through you with in real time, rapid fire, to help you fix the issue, as opposed to delaying you fixing the issue over, imagine 30 different things I want to try with you, right? And now we have to do 30 videos and go back and forth, which can take like 30 days. And so it's like, if you earn $27 an hour, and that's going to take you 4 hours to do worth of time back and forth, that's over $100 every time. At that point, you'd be better off just taking a lesson and paying your teacher between $50 and $100 or even $150 to get a good lesson. So in terms of bang for your buck, time, focus, taking a lesson is the only way to truly know that you are on the right path to fix and stop bad habits at the root. So that's an interesting thing, and it really comes down to blind spots, because you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know how the correct technique is supposed to feel. And to be clear, fundamentals are the how. Fundamentals are the what. Technique is the how. So the fundamental is how you hold your instrument. For if you're playing drums, it's how you hold your drumsticks, how you hold your body. Are you up on the balls of your feet for the kick drum and for the hi-hat? Are you flat-footed on the pedals for the kick drum and hi-hat? Technique is what you were doing. Fundamentals is what you were doing. And the technique, I'm backing myself into a corner here because I'm having to think really hard about the drums. Let me pull back a second. So fundamentals are what you do. So fundamentals is like using sticks to play the drums, sitting on a stool, having a drum kit. Then technique is how you do all those things. So are you flat-footed? Are you on the ball of your foot? Are you holding your drumstick firmly in your hand? Or are you letting it bounce between your index and thumb? And again, I'm very limited in my knowledge of how drums work just from hanging out with drummers and observing drums. I understand a little bit of the whole thing. So the technique is the how. And the thing about bad habits is that they're either an issue with the fundamental or the technique. And since you don't know how the fundamental or technique is supposed to feel in your body, you can't possibly correct it. And the reason why you can't possibly correct it is very interesting. It's because music is not tied to your biological systems for keeping you alive. So for example, if you drink water the wrong way and it goes down the wrong pipe, you cough, your throat burns, your eyes tear, it feels terrible, right? And so your body, in this case, is your teacher, and your body's teaching you that if you drink water the wrong way, there's going to be biological consequences. And if you do that too much, you can die. I don't want that to happen to you, obviously, but if you drink too much water down the wrong pipe, you can drown, your lungs fill up with water. And that's the end result. And so your body has been programmed over however long we've been evolving for to have that inbuilt teaching alarm system of you're doing this wrong. Now, playing music is not linked to your survival, right? Playing drums is not the difference between you eating or sleeping. Now, if you're professional, it might be, but even then, still, You can play drums the wrong way. You can play guitar the wrong way. You can have bad technique singing, bad technique on anything. And because it's not directly tied to your survival, your body is not going to send off alarm bells that you're doing it the wrong way. Yes, you may feel tension. Yes, you may get tired. Yes, you may develop tendonitis. And those are technically alarm bells, but those aren't the same type of alarm bells as coughing when you try and drink water the wrong way. And so you need a music teacher to be your teacher because your body can't teach you the right way to do it. Your body doesn't know the right way to do it because your body has not been programmed to survive by playing guitar or drums or piano or singing. So it turns into a very interesting and clear, very clear situation where it's like, okay, I don't know how this is supposed to feel in my body. And because I don't know how this correct technique or fundamental is supposed to feel in my body, I need to go ask a teacher, and I need the teacher to correct me. And as I listed before, blogs, YouTube videos, online courses, video courses, apps, none of those will correct your technique. So you need a teacher. You need a teacher. So it's like the only online courses I sell are things for like music theory and songwriting and things that don't require technique or fundamentals, because for me, I'm morally opposed to just telling you, here, look, come watch my guitar course and you're going to be all good, because I know that you don't know how it's supposed to feel in your body, and I know that I'm going to be doing you a disservice by using my authority in music and your trust in me in music to tell you that using a course is going to be the answer. It's not. You can use a course with a teacher. You can use a book with a teacher. You can use an app with a teacher. And then it's like gangbusters. That's the optimal time to use books, courses, and apps is with a teacher. Because then the 7 days a week you're not seeing the teacher, you've got courses and books and apps that are going to help keep you on track. But you must sit down with a teacher. There's no way around it. Would you say singing and feeling strain is kind of similar? Exactly right. Because you don't have, you can sing with strain and you will lose your voice, but it's not going to kill you. And so it's your biology is not programmed to stop you from singing with strain. It is programmed to a degree because you feel pain, right? But not in the same way as trying to drink water down the wrong pipe. So yes, it's the same exact thing. You must have a teacher correct your technique. You must. And using books, using courses, using online videos, like going on YouTube and it's like how to sing without strain. Sure, they might tell you the steps, but the problem is you don't have someone in real time showing you exactly what to do and giving you real time feedback and telling you how to adjust what you are doing. That's it. And I wish there was a better answer for you, but I've thought about this very deeply. And that's it. You know, and until we can create AI models that can detect, like when I sit down with singing students, closing my eyes, just listening to the sound, I can tell you when they are straining, when they are tensing up, when they're not, just by the sound, right? And until we can train an AI model to recognize those micro differences across multiple people and across anyone in the same way that someone like my ears can, and I'm not saying I'm the best at doing this, I'm pretty darn good at doing this, but it's like until we can train an AI model to do that, you must see a teacher. Once we can get AI models to track those types of changes, then I'll be like, yeah, you can use the app where it's the AI teacher and it tells you to relax and it tells you where to relax and how to relax. But that's gonna be a while. We got a couple years to go for that. Okay. Next question we have over on YouTube is, being in choir as a baritone, I've been curious, is there some different similarities for musicians and singers to learn the major scale? Well, every instrument is different in terms of the interface between the player and the music. And all musicians who play instruments should also learn to sing. So the difference would be the obvious difference of the difference between singing and playing an instrument. And in addition to that, I recommend all singers learn instruments and all instrumentalists learn to sing, because playing an instrument is an interface that you can get away with not hearing the music in your mind and using the instrument as kind of a crutch to create things that are not authentic to your inspiration and your sonic imagination, something we would call audiation. And then vice versa, for singers, learning an instrument can provide much needed structure and an understanding of structure that is not necessarily evident when all you are doing is singing. Boom. Okay, we'll see if we get another question coming in. This has been a fun session so far. And also, if any of you out there have my Everything You Need course pack, where it's all the music theory and then how to leverage that for creating music, and then also the ear training and music creation, and you have questions, this is your time too. Go ahead and ask your questions. And I will also put a link to that. If any of you are curious, you can get literally every course I have ever made and ever will make for as little as $7.50 a month. Why so little money, you ask? It's because I genuinely want to help you. It is genuinely my purpose to help you get better at music. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in the chat. If any of you are interested, I highly recommend checking this out. This includes updates for any new courses I ever make in the future will also be added to this, and you'll get it for free as long as you stay a member. And you can even request and upvote courses for me to make. It's a whole lot of fun and really great stuff. So, with that being said, I don't see any new questions coming in. If any of you are not yet a member of Everything You Need, I highly recommend checking it out. Go ahead, click on that, sign up. And with that being said, thank you all so very much for helping make this a successful lesson day. We talked about making music fast and slow. Talked about when slow is smooth and smooth is fast, when fast is fast. We also talked about blind spots, bad habits, when you need a teacher, why you need a teacher, why videos, blogs, books, and courses will not work for addressing bad habits, and a whole bunch of other things. Thank you all so very much for helping give me this opportunity to give you information I wish I had when I was first starting off in music, and I hope that this is helpful to you. We'll rock and roll from there. Yes, we can see these chats coming in. Oh, we did the overlay. All right, thank you all so very much. Take care. Have a fantastic, phenomenal rest of your day. That's all from me, and goodbye.